Hi guys! This will be my last video talking about my book. It's two little sections I'll be going over. One is just a recap. Easy steps to being a happy and successful professor. 1, come into the class with a good attitude. That will make all the difference. Number 2, be friendly and respectful of your students, and you will get a lot of respect in return. Number 3, delegate classroom responsibilities. This is why I break students up into groups, and a lot of times I give different students different jobs during the class period, different things they're supposed to help me with. It makes my job a lot easier, and it makes them feel really important and involved in the classroom experience, so it's a win-win. Number 4, make your lectures engaging. It'll help them learn better, and it'll create a really fun environment for your students. 5, network with colleagues. I would not have found out about half the opportunities I did if I didn't make an effort to make a friend at least once a semester. It's not a lot, but it does add up, and I've got a handful of awesome faculty friends that will help me out in any situation, and I would do the same for them. Number 6, take faculty development courses. If you have a hard time approaching someone in the hallway, take a faculty development course and make some friends there. It's also a great way just to learn more about teaching and how to become a better teacher. Number 7, take care of yourself physically, mentally, and emotionally. Do a little bit of exercise or yoga. Make sure you're taking care of your health, and also don't overexert yourself. Don't overplan things. Be efficient with your classroom planning. Otherwise, you're going to get burned out and you'll get sick or you'll get frustrated with your job. Number 8, learn how to live with less. This equals more money in your bank account. Try to live a little bit more simply. Cut out some of those things you could really do without. Number 9, if you're bored with the content you're teaching, find a new angle. It's in your hands. If you find some of the content boring, twist it. Do something a little bit differently. You can make anything interesting. I had a student give a speech on bagels once, and it ended with the class giving him a standing ovation. Bagels. You can make anything interesting. So tweak it. Do something different. Ask a colleague how they think you could make your content a little bit more interesting. Number 10, take a break once in a while. Right now, I'm in North Carolina. I was here for a week, reading, doing a whole lot of nothing, going on some hikes. Take a break once in a while. It's okay to slow down. It took me a while to learn that, but it is okay to kind of sit back and, take a little break here and there. The next section, and I will squeeze this into this video, these are some of the resources I want to leave you guys with. Some great books are Community College Success by Isa Adney. When I forget how my students might be feeling as students, I read this book, or at least a portion of it, because this was written by a former community college student who was a scared student, didn't know who to talk to, didn't know who to get advice from. And the book is just written really well, and it really helps you to feel like you're in your students' shoes. She also has a website called communitycollegesuccess.com, which is also a really helpful resource that I go to once in a while. Oh, and she also has YouTube videos. Type in Isa Adney. I showed her 40-minute video in one of my classes, and it was really excellent. My students got a lot out of it and told me it made a huge difference for them. KhanAcademy.org, great resource. I can't use it in my class because they cover mostly science and I think math. But if you are anything other than speech, I think they have videos for a lot of different topics. So check that out. I know a lot of teachers rave about it. EllenBremen.com. If you're new to teaching, you don't know kind of what to do, what not to do, she talks a lot about how to answer student questions. TED and TEDx videos. These are great for me because I'm a speech instructor and these are people giving speeches. So they're all applicable in my class, but a lot of the TED videos are also relevant to specific subjects. So search for some of those subjects and you can show them in your class, and it's a great, great discussion starter. I've had some excellent class periods based on TED Talks. YouTube, use YouTube. There are excellent lessons there. I've had some students show me some great YouTube videos during their group presentations that I still use to this day. Without my students, I may not have found the excellent videos that I now have, but go ahead, search on YouTube for a little while. See what you can use in your classroom that your students would really respond to. These are books that you might really enjoy. If you're interested in the whole minimalist thing, check out Everything That Remains by Joshua Fields Milburn and Ryan Nicodemus. Another book, The Happiness Advantage, The 7 Principles of Positive Psychology That Fuel Success and Performance at Work by Sean Aker. It kind of backs up a lot of what I said about positivity. He says that when you are a positive employer and you instill that positivity in your employees, you're more successful. You're more successful, they're more successful, the business runs better. Same thing works for a classroom. TED Talks for Professors. These are some great talks you might want to show in class. If you would like to help your students increase their confidence, you can show a video like Amy Cuddy, Your Body Language Shapes Who You Are. You can show The Skill of Self-Confidence by Dr. Ivan Joseph at TEDx Ryerson. Kelly McConigal, How to Make Stress Your Friend. Sarah Lewis, Embrace the Near Win. Angela Lee Duckworth, The Key to Success is Grit. Julian Treasure, 5 Ways to Listen Better. If you do teach a speech or communication class, some things you might want to look at, some TED Talks, are Mark Bezos, A Life Lesson from a Volunteer Firefighter. It's an excellent example of an introduction speech. Jack Silver, Hack a Banana, Make a Keyboard. That's a great example of a demonstration speech. Terry Moore, How to Tie Your Shoes, another demonstration speech. Nancy Duarte, The Secret Structure of Great Talks. This is really good for any speech, particularly informative or persuasive. A few more here. Joshua Klein, A Thought Experiment on the Intelligence of Crows. I usually show this to my students to introduce informative speeches, and it also has a little bit of a persuasive lean at the end, but it just gets them seeing what a good speaker would do during an informative speech, to break down the material in an interesting way while still using really great research. Another video is Sherry Turkle, Connected But Alone. We use this talk, I show it before persuasive speeches and debates, and I ask them if they think digital communication is hurting or helping our social skills, and I tell them there is no right or wrong answer. We just kind of leave it up for debate, for discussion, and we usually have some pretty great discussion about the video. John McWhorter, Texting is Killing Language, JK, with 3 exclamation points at the end. This talk is, it's great to show again before persuasive speeches and debates, and again I ask them, is texting hurting our language skills or is it helping our language skills? Is it just an evolution of language? So again, I tell them there is no right or wrong answer, which normally throws them for a loop because they think it should be one way or the other, but it really gets them to think out of the box and consider, different types of communication and whether they're good or bad. Lastly, these are some talks for the soul. These were talks that were just really special to me, and I shared with some of my friends, and they really enjoyed them. They are Ron Gutman, The Hidden Power of Smiling, Brene Brown, The Power of Vulnerability. She also has some excellent books that I've been reading. Sarah Kay, If I Should Have a Daughter, and A Rich Life with Less Stuff, The Minimalist at TEDx Whitefish. Those are my resources for you. I really hope they help out. The very last section of this book are student interviews, and I'm not going to read these to you. But again, if you would like to see what some students have had to say about some of the professors they've had in the past and the ways that those professors have really helped them, or ways that the professors could have helped them and they didn't, this is a really good section to read. If it makes you feel any better, they had so many more nice things to say than bad things to say in these student interviews. And that starts on page 132 of my book. If you want to get the e-version, or if you know someone who has the book, my former students had some really great things to say about how teachers have helped them in the past. Lastly, in the book are commonly asked questions about teaching as an adjunct. So if you're looking into it, you really want to do it maybe just part-time in the evening or kind of as a full-time thing, you might want to look at those FAQs, and they start on page 153. That is it for my video series about my book, Happy Professor. If you want to get it, you can buy it on Amazon. You can get it in the ebook format, or you can get it in paperback. A lot of people have told me it's been a really great resource, and it's either inspired them to look at teaching from a different angle as maybe a burned out adjunct, or it has turned them on to the idea of adjuncting as someone who just has a master's degree who's tired of sitting at a desk all day. So I hope you guys got something out of this video series, and if you want to learn more, you want more details about those funny stories I alluded to or those student interviews I talked about, check out the book, Amazon.com, Happy Professor by Erin Lovell Ebanks. I'll see you guys later. Bye.